G'day and welcome back to Be Less Last. Now, in these various episodes we've dealt with the cameras, we've dealt with the mounts onto the boat, but now microphones. How to be heard. Yes, microphones. Now, I've turned my videos into small adventures when I go camping or whatever, to tell a story. And if you want to do that, you're going to need a microphone. As you heard in the previous clip, the microphones on the cameras, they're not all that great, to be perfectly honest. If they're really close up to you, they're just about acceptable. But if you want to move around and walk around and tell a story whilst on the walking, you're going to need a microphone. And I've ended up with quite a selection of microphones, Bluetooth ones that connect directly into the camera, and we're going to go through those. We're going to go through all those microphone choices next, and they're not as expensive as you expect, so let's take a look. Right, so the first one we'll start with is actually the first external microphone I ever bought for any of my kit, and it's this, the Rode Video Micro 2. Now this is an external microphone that I use with my GoPro. Now the trouble with the GoPro to fit external microphones is that you need this, the Media Mod. Now this actually contains its own microphones as well. You could use front and back, and they're not too bad, to be honest. But for even better sound, then you use this and you join an external microphone onto it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put this together and I'll show you how it sounds. So there we go, this is the Rode Video Micro 2. It's the first external microphone I ever bought, and I used to use it quite a lot early on. I don't really use it so much now externally because I've got all the other wireless microphone mics that do a really good job in themselves. This one's a really good backup though, should all those batteries be flat. Of course you do have to plug it into this GoPro Media Mod to make it work on the GoPro, which is of course extra expense, but of course the GoPro then isn't waterproof. This is a good one for indoors, nice ambient sound with it. Like I said, I don't really use it a huge amount anymore, but it's always there as a nice backup. That's the Rode, what is it called? Video Micro 2. That's the one. So that was the Rode Video Micro 2. There's some amazing names for this kit, isn't there? It's a great microphone, great sound, as you heard, that was straight out of the microphone. However, its limiting factor is being fixed to the camera. You can't really go very far from that one. Great sound for indoors, and confined. But if you're outdoors and you want to walk around a bit more free away from the camera, then you need something a bit more wireless. And quite frankly, I couldn't afford some of the DJI kit that's out there that most people use. And I discovered these. I've had this for a long time now, the Full Aim X5. Probably a DJI copy, but it's much the same. You have I've got two microphones here. There's the receiver. That receiver fits on top of the GoPro in the same way as the Rode microphone via the Media Mod. So this is a wireless connection to the microphones, and it's a great little piece of kit, this. And this is quite old, this version. There is an updated version of it, still called the X5, but it's been updated a little bit because I've had that for about 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer. Great little microphone. And most of my recordings, most of my videos that you'll see, that is what I'm using all the time. Any of the external shots, pretty much every time, that's what I'm using. And here's an example. But that's pretty much how you can get into sailing. Just go and visit your clubs. There's hundreds and hundreds of clubs nearby. Pretty much everybody. There's loads of clubs inland. There's loads of clubs on the coast. And if you're interested, just pop along. So that was the Full Aim X5, and it's a really good choice for a wireless Bluetooth mic. But if you want something smaller, a bit more discreet, and you only need one microphone perhaps, then this is a really good choice. This is the DJI Mic Mini. I think it's fairly recent, to be honest. It's fairly new out. The DJI Mic Mini. Now, I bought this as a kind of a practice. The next piece of kit you're going to see in a minute is the ultimate one I've been looking for. But I wanted this as a bit of a practice to see about, could I possibly have something on the boat whilst I'm sailing, kayaking, etc. Was it possible? Well, of course it's possible, because with wireless, you can just connect to the cameras. Your big problem is they're not waterproof. But I just wanted to test the water a little, pardon the pun, test the water a little bit to see how it would work. So I went kayaking. I bought this and I went kayaking. And you'll hear the sound out of this one on this next clip. It's remarkable.
There's no such thing as a bad adventure. Everything's an experience. God, I'm sounding a bit hippie now, aren't I? Be less last. No such thing as a bad adventure.
No, I think that is incredible. That microphone and the entire kit that came with it cost me £23. And I think that's an amazing sound. Wasn't expecting that. Let's just listen to that again.
Bit of paddling. Remember, there's no such thing as a bad adventure.
Well, like I say, I think that's absolutely amazing. £23 I paid for this. I got it as a kit, that just a single mic, a couple of dead cat wind deflectors, a charging port, and a cable and a little bag for £23. That's not bad at all, is it? Now, you can get the kits with 2 of these and transmitters and all sorts for a bit more than £23, but it's still out there. And all the links below, by the way, there's going to be links to most of the kit that I've been talking about today. But that one, like I said, was really a practice just to see what it was going to be, to set a microphone up on my boat, on my kayak, because what I ultimately wanted was this. Now, these are really hard to get hold of. If anybody's ever watched a video channel, a YouTube channel called Joyrider TV, there's a guy called Joe Bennett, does a lot of sailing, catamarans out at one of the resorts in Greece. And I was fascinated because he was sailing his boat out in the rough winds, out on the big seas and whatever. And he was talking, he was chatting to the camera, and it all sounded perfectly natural. Well, I discovered he was using one of these, Instamic. Now, these are really difficult to get hold of. They've been around a few years, but they don't seem to publish themselves very much. And it took me ages to find one of these. This is, in fact, second-hand because they're not being made at the moment. You can't get these until the end of January. I think Zoom has bought Instamic. So they're releasing those at the end of January, a slightly newer version. But this, Instamic, waterproof, Bluetooth, wireless. This is going to be a game changer. This is the piece of kit I've been waiting for. It's onboard recording as well, so I don't need to link it to any particular camera. I can just record, have the cameras on, record the sound into there, take the files off and synchronize it all up in the editing. It does, however, sync nicely and connects nicely to my GoPro. I've tested that out. But it does sync up to my GoPro, but I tend not to use the GoPro on the boat. So I'm really looking forward to using this. I haven't used it yet. So there's no examples. So next time out, maybe we'll have this on and we'll see if it works. But yeah, Instamic, that's what I've been waiting for. And I think it's going to change my videos for 2026 immeasurably. I'll be able to sail and chat to you at exactly the same time, whether you like it or not. So that's a review of the microphone kit that I've been using over the years, and with this one special piece of kit to come during 2026. Stick some comments in the links in the comments below if you want to ask any questions or even suggest any other kit that I've not looked at. But that's just the kit that I use. Like I said, I'm not going to go into settings or anything technical. There are plenty of reviews of all of these items on YouTube everywhere. You just type them in and you'll find reviews and set up ideas. But that's the kit I've been using for 5-6 years, maybe longer, in terms of microphones. So when you've got your camera, you've got your mounts, you've got your sound, what do you want to do next? You want to put it all together, don't you? You want to do some editing, and that's where the magic really happens. And that's where your patience can really get tested. Editing.